sell stocks now. I'm your host, Steve Van Metre, and thanks for joining me today. In our lead story today, Goldman Sachs is warning investors to get out of the market as the machines are about to unleash another big wave of selling this week. And Goldman is also saying that if momentum to the market doesn't turn to the upside, that the machines are going to unleash an even bigger selling program over the next month. We're going to take a look at what Goldman is saying, how to position yourself, and the technicals and momentum of the market. Plus, we've got a sponsor for today's show. I'm going to give you the 4 reasons why you may want to add this stock to your portfolio, one of which includes that it's sitting on long-term support level, and in the past, when it's at this level, it's made some big moves to the upside. Stay tuned to the end of the show to learn more about our sponsor. Now let's head over to Goldman, where we picked today's story up. And here's what I want you to see. We've been talking about last week, the 200-day moving average being critical. We saw the market hold support there, but look at this. In a flat tape, stocks just go sideways. $26.6 billion in global equities to sell, but notably $20.2 billion off the S&P 500. That's going to be a big hit to any upside momentum. But notably, I want you to also see, if stocks rally from here, the machines aren't going to put a lot of effort behind it. As we can notice in an up tape, they're looking to sell $1 billion. Down tape over the next week, 62.5. So stocks go down, they're going to be a major seller here. But look at this over the next month, and when we get to the charts, I'm going to show you this flat tape, $34 billion to sell. So most of it coming over this next week, $25.3 billion to sell in the S&P 500. Again, making this week very critical. Up tape, they're buying $58.5 billion. But get this, in a down tape, and we talked about last week, a little over $200 billion to sell. Well, the momentum, the triggers to the downside, they still pick up $195 billion in global equities. That means a big move to the downside if stocks don't rally. Now, as we look at CTA positioning, this chart also from Goldman, you have to understand that these machines are trend following. So they don't establish a trend, but if the trend doesn't move, they can really accelerate it to the up or the downside. Here you can see the S&P 500 in blue rising, the machines following suit with that. Here the market has been moving down. The machines are rolling over. So the market needs, or the machine needs, the market to turn around because they overshot. And here you can see the machines overshot the move to the market rolled over. And if the machines do not see the market turn around and momentum move to the upside, as I just pointed out, they're going to be massive sellers here. Now, as we look at Metre and TD Securities, we're going to see the same thing happening. Machines overshooting, now looking to cover those gains that they've got before the market turns to the downside, unless we see buyers step in a big way. Here we can note Metre is seeing the same thing with their global equity screen, saying the momentum for CTAs is turning to the downside, starting to turn into sellers. We've noted in the past that they are already at or near max short positions. TD Securities pretty much at a neutral position, looking again to sell if the market doesn't turn higher. And this is what we've been warning. This is what Goldman's been saying. If the market doesn't sustainably move over 4,000, again, you got to get the S&P over 4,200 to really see the machines kick back in. But if it doesn't sustainably move over 4,000 here over the next week or two, look for the machines to sell in a big way. Now let's take a look at the technicals and momentum of the market and see if we can see what's going on here. So here's our own screen. We've got momentum negative on the S&P 500. The RSI, though, in positive territory at 53. We want to see a number over 40. MACD's got a negative cross. Momentum Timer Pro, our proprietary report, still got some coupons at half off. 10 consecutive daily sell signals. Link in the description below. That's the signal down here. And what we're seeing is 10 consecutive days of sell signals. On the 1 month, it's got a buy minimum, so it doesn't have very strong confidence over the 1 month. Same with the 3 month window, not a lot of confidence, and neither over the 6 month window. So it's really telling you from Momentum Timer Pro's report that, look, if you've got some gains, start to think about cashing them in. And at this point, we're saying no position on this. If you're trading this, probably hold off. There's a better place we want you to be watching for. upside target 408, downside target 393. Here you can see CTA Timer Pro. Now I added 15 coupons to this for $10 off. You want to see how the machines are traded? Here you can see a preview of Monday's report. We're seeing them buying up off of that 100% short level that subscribers have been noting as the market moved up over the last 2 days. But the longer term, where more money is sitting, you're seeing they're holding their position. And this is key. A lot of these machines don't react real quickly to the market. They are very slow at their reactions. Now let's take a look at the charts here and see what's going on with momentum. Here we are looking at SPY, and you can broadly see over this last year, momentum is pointing to the downside. Now, what we want to see, if you're looking for an upside move, you've got your left shoulder, head, right shoulder, the inverse head and shoulder we've talked about. You've got 1 year support sitting right here. This is beautiful. 200-day moving average creating some support. Close over the 50-day, close over the 100-day. What we want to see is a breakout over this 416 level. If you're looking to start getting long, when it gets up here, you want to start maybe taking some small positions and then break and add into this as it goes above. If not, you want to increase your stop losses here, protect your positions. If you've got some gains, maybe cash some of them in, because right now the momentum is pointing to the downside. You can imagine that 20 billion we're going to see is selling the S&P 500 could push this thing right back down into support. We want to see it hold that 200-day moving average a second time. If that happens, and if you do see that, well, then look for a move of the market to go a whole lot higher. Now let's take a look at tech stocks, and what do we see here with tech? Momentum also negative. The RSI still leading the way up at 55. MACD still holding a negative cross. That looks to be changing soon. We see Momentum Timer Pro, 9 consecutive daily sell signals. So it's telling you 9 days ago, you should probably look at cashing in some of your positions. We know no upside position. Upside target 301, downside 281. Here you see CTA Timer Pro. Told you that the machines were going short before. Now they're short covering as, again, their trend following. But notably, the longer term, where more money is sitting, hold at a 55% long level. That is what Goldman is trying to tell you is going to change if we don't see a move higher in the market. Let's take a look at the charts. Again, it's very obvious. You can just visually see over the last 1 year, momentum pointing to the downside. We got a hold of the 200-day moving average, which is critical. Likeliness here to see the retest. I think it's possible with the selling over next week. It'll all be determined by how big of a buying program we see from, say, such as hedge funds or other buyers. But notably, do not be surprised if we see a pullback and a retest here for the QQQ for tech stocks. You really want to see this thing break over 315. So as it approaches there, that's where you want to start taking positions and adding into them. If you were a buyer down here in the lows, well, maybe it's time to start pulling back, taking in some of those gains, raising your stop loss level up, just in case you see the market move to the downside. Now let's take a look at the bond market. This chart from last week, we know we saw 21 billion of selling. We saw some move down in bond prices. We can kind of guess this is where it came from. Over the next month, there's some more selling. So it's probably going to slow down a little bit for now. As we look over at Nomura, they are max shorted on their positions. They also note that the entire CTA space in the bond market is already fairly heavily short. Not at record short, but pretty close to it. That means we're likely to see them hold back on their selling. We're seeing TD Securities also fairly net short here. And what are we noting? Any rally in price will trigger a short covering, because when the machines are massively short, they don't want to be caught in a position where prices are rallying. Doesn't matter where the stocks or bonds, they're going to quickly move off those levels. So watch that. If you see a big move in price, keep an eye on CTA Timer Pro. It'll give you kind of a leading indicator of what's going on here. As we look at TLT, momentum is negative, no surprise. Bond prices have been trending down for years now. RSI is perking up at 46. MACD negative cross. We see 19 consecutive days of sell signals. So again, it was kind of warning you if you got long a little while ago on that bottom to capture some of those gains. We keep suggesting wait for a close over the 200-day moving average on this. Next upside target is 106, downside at 99. Again, CTA Timer Pro giving you the advanced warning. We showed you this before when it said it's getting short, close out those longs. And now watch this. When it turns higher, you'll see it move up. You'll see Momentum Timer Pro move up, and that will give you all the indicators you need. Let's take a look at the charts now. TLT Again, sitting under its 100-day moving average is 21-day, and it's 50, and it's 200. Trend is obviously down. The machines came in again, sold right up here, drove this down. Now we're looking for this to rally. Look for a close over the 200-day moving average at this point before you start bothering with any long positions. You can try to buy the dips. It looks like a nice level of support here, but before those machines come in and hit that next wave of selling over the next month, we would really like to see this thing move higher, or we could face a retest of those recent lows. All right, now let's take a look at gold, because of course I know many of you love trading gold, and let's see, because we've seen a bit of a rally here. So what's going on with gold? Well, we can note the machines are only slightly long. This from TD Securities. As we've kind of been suggesting at this point, the risk to the downside is greater than the upside. You need to see gold move and close over 1,900 an ounce to see some buying come back in, under 1,800 an ounce to sell. Of course, you know which one we're closer to is 1,800. Here we see gold, GLD, RSI at 51. So it's still pretty low. We want to see this moving higher. MACD's got a positive cross. We just got one closing day here to suggest Momentum Timer Pro, but is saying a buy signal. But I'm saying wait for a break over the 50-day moving average, because it could act as a level of resistance here. We can note, of course, you've recently, if you've been a member of the CTA Time Pro, this was max short, and all of a sudden you've seen buying. So if you were part of this, you knew kind of when the machines were going to turn and burn to the upside, and you saw that signal happening. Now let's take a look at the charts for GLD, and we'll look at gold futures here. So here you see GLD coming down, finding a little bit of support right where a previous level of resistance. What you kind of want to see an upside move here, but what the concern is resistance against this 50-day moving average. You've got a lot of sellers above. You're still in this supply zone. You can see by the volume here. Looking at gold futures, you're closer to the 1,800 mark than you are to the 1,900 mark. Again, you need to see a big rally here, or if this thing turns and flops, then look for the selling to begin and drive that down a whole lot more. And with that, so I want to introduce you to our sponsor for today's show. And again, when we talk about a chart setup, you're going to absolutely love this one, because again, it's sitting on a major level of support. It's had some big moves off of this in the past. So let's take a look at our sponsor for the day's show is Canasoft Enterprises. I'll put a link to their website here in the description and as a pinned tweet, plus a link to our analyst report. As always, with any stock that we show on the show, do your own research. Symbol BCAN, B-C-A-N on the NASDAQ. Put this on your hot list, because when you see what the chart setup is, you're going to love this. Now, they are most known for their CERM platform for the medical cannabis market. It's designed and built for the cannabis industry, offering a revolutionary change to bring modern technology to the world of medical cannabis. Provides an easy way to access customers and manage their business activities. They let our growers utilize their full potential here, and that's just one of the products that Cannabis Enterprises has. They're expanding into other places. I'll let you check that out on their website and in our analyst report. And speaking of that, let's take a look here, because what we're seeing from them, Canasoft, is they're moving into position as an AI stock. That's where they're headed here with some of their new technology, their new product offerings. Again, I'll let you take a look at that on your own. Symbol BCAN on the NASDAQ, CSE, BYND. And of course, the analysts are saying this little known AI stock has extremely low float and is poised to disrupt a lucrative $62 billion market. And as we know on the show, we love low float stocks, because you get a bunch of buying coming in and the stock can just shoot to the upside. So let me show you some of the reasons why you may want to add BCAN to your portfolio. Again, put it on your hot list, and then let's get into the charts, and I think you'll see what an opportunity there is in this stock. They're an extremely low float. As we noted, low float stocks have the potential to present significant swings in an active market if participants take notice, or you just get a squeeze higher. And BCAN has less than 1.2 million shares available in its public float, according to FinFiz, which is an incredibly small amount of float. And the upside potential from the 52-week low, which is sitting right now, a BCAN, again on the NASDAQ symbol BCAN, is approximately 673% according to price history available from bar chart, which shows that it's hitting its 52-week low of $2.12 on November 9th of last year after reaching its 52-week high of $16.38. It's not certain, but the upside potential in any stock like this should be noted. And it's got strong insider ownership, something we love on this show, as high insider ownership typically signals confidence in a company's prospects and ownership shares. And Canasoft Enterprises insiders, again symbol BCAN, own over 64% of the shares as of March 2nd this year, according to FinViz. Now I want to take you into the charts, because wait till you see this setup here. It's incredible. You'll note when it gets at this level in the past, you've seen moves 50% or more that follow. I know it's pretty crazy, but it is here. Let's take a look. And what do we see here? Let's go to the 6-month chart. Now, we're not going out to the max chart because this is long-term support. You'll notice 212, as we talked about in the analyst report, where it came down right just above that. And here you can note the last time it got down here was back in October of last year. What happened? You got a 50% move to the upside. Then you happened again here a second time, and you got a 100% move plus to the upside. Came down to near these levels, big move to the upside. Now we're down here again after a wave of selling, potential move to the upside. And notably, we have the volume profile turned on. Not even a concern at this point. At this level, you're looking for a big move off of support here. Look at the RSI. You notice in the past when it's had these levels, it's been oversold. It's there again. Potential move to the upside. The MACD starting to bottom out. Check this out as we zoom in now to the 90-day chart. What do you see? Buyers coming in here, and just like they've come in before and the time before, $3.01 is the 90-day support. Volume profile level. But look at this momentum, RSI leading to the upside, MACD positive cross leading to the upside, suggesting here that this bottom is about to catapult higher. You break that $3.01, you're going to see a big move up in this stock, as we've seen in the past. Now, 30-day window, what do we see? RSI accelerating to the upside at 43, momentum positive, MACD, nice positive cross, moving to the upside, everything suggesting, again, this looking like a bottom and a major move now. This you see over the last 30 days, $3.60, your volume profile, puts a pretty big move. This stock just gets right back to there. And what do we have on the 10-day chart? Again, you see the MACD accelerating to the upside, about to cross through that midpoint, that zero bound. What do you see on the RSI? 48. All you're seeing here is momentum moving to the upside on BCAN. Again, symbol BCAN on the NASDAQ. Put it on your hot list. Check out their website. Check out the analyst report. Do your research before you buy the stock. Don't take our word for it, but I think once you see the charts and you take a look at it, it's going to be one that you don't want to miss out on. And with that, I'm Steve Van Metre. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being fans. Bye now.